Man, I really hope I didn't speak too soon 2 weeks ago.
I'm so amazing. I'm so amazing.
I am so amazing. Just look how I'm blazing.
Now, before we get started, I gotta shout out Pink Chick Designs one more time. That's my wife. That's her business. I'll put a link down in the description below for her Facebook page where she advertises all her work that she does. She does all my shirts. I put a short up not too long ago. She did a PlayStation for me. It was Flash versus Reverse Flash PlayStation. She did a cup that matches it, which is I'll show you here again, as you probably see me drinking on it later on in this video. But she also did my chair, and I'm gonna stand up real quick and let y'all see what she did. Just a little something to show y'all that, man, she does a lot of customization. Anything that you want, she can customize it. So head on over to Pink Chick Designs on Facebook and hit up, get your prices, and let me know, man. Let me know what you get. First person to comment something that they bought something from her, I got a giveaway. I got a prize for y'all. So just let me know. Also, like and subscribe if you really rock with your boy. It really helps out the page, man. I really appreciate y'all for rocking with me. But now, let's get into this roadmap. All right, so let's go ahead and address the monkey in the room. It's been a couple days now. I wanted to give it some time to kind of simmer out, listen to some other people's opinions, and see if we was going to have, you know, some yes men. But it seems like everybody's kind of on the same wavelength this time around. This roadmap, gotta do better, Crystal. Gotta do better. I mean, for what it's worth, I reviewed it, and there are some things that I actually see on here that I didn't do the first time that was in the first roadmap because, you know, as you know, I tore it up. I tore up that last roadmap because I was looking at the timeline of everything. Well, it's kind of the same thing here, but not near as bad, and I'll tell you why here in a bit. So getting down to it, we released the roadmap. First thing that we see on here is the War for Wakanda expansion, which is already released. So I don't really know why that is even on here anymore. That shouldn't even be something that should be announced once you already had it on the last roadmap and you've already completed that goal. The Avengers 1-year anniversary is technically going on right now. And the things that are in it, I mean, it's giving you some rewards. And I like the fact that I got on and they, you know, had a revamped version of an Iron Man suit that they was giving away for free and giving you the resource consumables and stuff like that to help, you know, move your character along. But the part of the roadmap that I'm looking at was the returning events. So Corrupted Vibranium, I played it. I liked it. Not a lot of people liked it, but I liked it. I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but I actually ended up getting some equipment out of that event that ended up working with a couple of my builds. But Red Room Takeover, I did it like the last week right before they took it down. It was cool. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would. The Tachyon Anomaly, I didn't play it. Don't really care about the Tachyon Anomaly. I'm not really into the whole time trial missions thing. The Cosmic Threat. I don't even know what this is. I have no idea what the Cosmic Threat is. I didn't play it either. And then the bonus XP weekends. But, so all that stuff there in the returning events, I mean, I'm good with that. That stuff that'll be ongoing as the game keeps going on. It kind of gives you an identity of the type of events they want to kind of bring in. And I'm pretty sure they'll probably expand on that more as more content keeps getting added to the game. So I'm not really focused on that too much. The first half of this thing, I'm not really focused on. Biggest portion of this roadmap that's going to cause a lot of controversy is when the raid comes. So we know that there was supposed to be patrol mode coming, and that got pushed back, possibly because they were working on this raid. This is the first time that they're doing something like this, and I'm pretty sure they had all hands on deck trying to get this done. So I get that. No real word on if that raid is going to be a 4-player raid or if they're going to increase it to a 6-player or 8-player. There's no information on that yet. So I wouldn't get my hopes up yet. I would probably still stick to it being just a 4-man raid. Part of them adding in the whole allowing you to everybody to use the same character, which, I mean, I like it, but I don't like it. Like, I'm not really a big fan of, I get in the game and it's everybody's Black Panther, everybody's Captain America, everybody's Thor. I kind of like the way it was when you had to use one of the heroes per slot, because it added more dynamic to the fighting and the way that you tackle these missions versus everybody running with the same character, pretty much doing the same moves and just you're just seeing the same thing over and over again. You're not getting a wow factor from that. The new enemy, the Echoes, the new enemy type, not really much was spoken on them. We know that it will be an enemy type that will be introduced as a part of Claw's side of things. The Claw fight, I really hope that that fight is going to be like elaborated on, because I did like the fight in the story. But for the raid, we can't have the same exact fight. I really hope they elaborate on a new way to take him down. Then the power level increase. So this is the part that's a little murky for a lot of people, because when they talk about should I keep playing this game based on the content that is in it, and I skip one subject for a reason, because I really want to talk about that here in a minute. So let's get on to the power level cap. Power level cap, I like it. I mean, when you think about it, you hop on this game, and if you're like me, I don't play the same character every time. Now, you got one people who get on here, they got their character, they didn't level that character, and they just gonna level that character. Me, I move around between, right now, I'm moving around between about 4, and I've just added a 5th that I'm working on right now. So I'm a Captain America main, but I also play Kate Bishop, I play Black Widow, I play Black Panther, and now I'm playing Kamala Khan. So I move around a lot. So there's a lot for me to do as far as leveling them up. And then with them increasing the power level cap, it gives you some more reason to grind out these missions to get your character ready for that Claw raid. So I don't really have an issue with the power level increase. But the SpiderMan event, I'm on PlayStation, so this doesn't affect me. But I do get where the other two sides are coming from. If it was me, and I know when Crystal Dynamics is asked about this thing, we know it's PlayStation only, and they have not talked about what to do for the other two platforms dealing with the Spider-Man event. Like, this is gonna suck for a lot of people that PlayStation players get a new hero with Spider-Man and a new mission type and a new event. Now, granted, is Spider-Man going to be as elaborate as Black Panther was? No. He's probably going to be just added in just like Kate Bishop and Hawkeye was added in because he's only on PlayStation. But the issue that I have is while PlayStation people are enjoying this Spider-Man event, Xbox and PC got nothing that they show lined up, and you cannot give us threat sectors and nameplates and cosmetics and a bonus XP during that time and think that people are going to be fulfilled. Like, in my opinion, that this should have been a twofer. Spider-Man gets added, but they could have did like a tag team type of thing. Go against the grain. Instead of doing one character at a time, this would have been the one time that you go against the grain and you do a twofer. You have Spider-Man's hero event be tied to another character. And then that way, yes, true enough, Spider-Man remains only on PlayStation as a playable character, but another character is tied along with him that goes to everybody else as well. So you could have dug in the rabbit hat and pulled out any other character in the MCU, any other character in Marvel, period, that's tied to Spider-Man, like Nova. I mean, that might be a hard stretch. I mean, you could do Iron Fist. We could have got Daredevil. You could have did something to tie somebody else in with Spider-Man to where, and yes, true enough, it would have made it look like, well, PlayStation got 2 characters, where everybody else only got 1. But here's the thing. We knew a year ago that Spider-Man was only for PlayStation. Like, this is not new news. We knew a year ago that Spider-Man was only for PlayStation. But if you would have had another character lined up to accompany Spider-Man, I don't think the heat would have been so thick, because all you would have to do is say, okay, everybody that's on PlayStation gets Spider-Man exclusively to play with, but everybody else gets this character. Or, you know, they could have did something. This was, like I said, this was a big opportunity for them to show that they are for the community. This would have been a time to do that, because you're going to piss a lot of people off, and you just got the ball rolling again with the last update with Black Panther. You got the ball rolling again, but you about to put a bad taste in everybody's mouth with this Spider-Man thing. And with the fall and winter section of the roadmap, I'm almost positive they're leaning towards Spider-Man releasing probably close to the same time that the movie comes out. They're not going to be releasing him anytime soon. It's not going to be, if they do, it might be a week or two before the movie comes out to get you hyped for the movie, but it's not going to be no time soon. We got another month or two before we see Spider-Man. So there's things that got to be done. In all honesty, I don't like the fact that the Claw raid is mentioned at the same time as Spider-Man, and I hope that this is just the way they chose to put it on the roadmap, and that in the end, that's going to release before Spider-Man releases, since Spider-Man is only on PlayStation. The Rework Systems, we'll get back to some things in a minute. The Rework Systems, though, the resources are getting revamped. They're getting rid of some resources that they feel is unnecessary, and they're going to basically turn the resources that you've already farmed, that you probably hit max level on, into something that you can actually use towards the new system. Then gear upgrading. So gear upgrading is a little, they didn't really elaborate on it in this roadmap with the way that they got it listed, but gear upgrading is not going to be like, hey, I'm tweaking my gear based on my play style. This is when the level cap increases, you'll be able to increase your already existing gear to the new level cap, but you're not making tweaks to it like you would thought. Like, people have been asking for this since the game came out, since the systems have started to be reworked. Now, they reworked the menus and gave you a little bit easier UI to mess with the last update, but there are still some things that can be improved on. Like, for instance, they got loadout there, but I haven't figured out, and maybe I'm missing something, but I haven't figured out how to actually change loadouts. I hit the loadout and it just shows me the one I'm already using. I can't switch between loadouts. The menu does not come up for that. So that still needs to be reworked. But the fact that we cannot tweak or re-roll our gear to fit our builds better, that's something that's needed. Every game of this type has a system like that, and the reason why they have that system like that is because farming this stuff over and over and over again can get very tedious and time consuming. So being able to pick up a piece of gear and say that you got 3 out of the 4 traits that you want on that gear piece, and then you say, hey, I'm gonna keep this piece because I love the numbers that's on it, but this one section needs to be changed, and I'm gonna go over to the, to the crafting station and rework this piece of equipment. That's something that's needed. That's something that's needed in this game. So I really, really hope that they are working on a system like that, because it makes no sense not to have that type of system in a game that gives you as much loot as this game gives you. Because this game does drop a lot of loot, but it drops a lot of useless loot. I don't know how many times I go through an entire mission, fill up every section of my inventory, and then 95% of the inventory is getting broken down for resources. I'm only using maybe 5% of the stuff that I find. So they really need to rework that system. The Disney nameplate challenge, who cares? Who cares? Who really cares? Yes, they're going to try to tie it into the show. And yes, I'm pretty sure Kate Bishop and Hawkeye is going to end up with costumes from the show that's MCU worthy in the game. But no one cares about the nameplate challenge. That's a waste of time. Earnable cosmetics. So they're talking about bringing back in the where you can actually use the fabrication machine again to unlock the cosmetics again, which I think is smart. I don't know why they took it out in the first place. Like, it wasn't that broken of a system that you couldn't have just reworked it, recoded it, and left it in the game. Like, we've been having fabrication tables sitting in the game since the game came out, and we only used them for the first month before they were removed. So there's some things in here that are not that's not needed. The Hawkeye nameplate challenge, that shouldn't even be on the roadmap. We shouldn't even talked about that. The outfits inspired by the Marvel MCU, more coming. I think that they found out that this is what people want more than anything, more than these recolor, like that gamma recolor skin pack they got. That's so stupid. Come on. Y'all just splashing colors together on that. Like, let's get a little bit more creative with the cosmetics. But the MCU inspired cosmetics seem to be doing real good. I know for a fact that everyone that's come out for them so far, for the characters that I play that have them, I have gotten them. So that's a smart move, pulling those suits in. But let's not focus on the goddamn Hawkeye nameplate challenge. I probably won't even do it. I don't even play Hawkeye. I play Kate Bishop, but I don't play Hawkeye. But anyway, I really hope y'all got a plan for the Spider-Man thing. I really do. Because this is like very stupid that y'all haven't thought of something that y'all could do for everybody else when the Spider-Man stuff releases. But overall, I'm not mad at the roadmap. It's not the most wowing thing. But then again, I mean, we're almost to the end of the year. I mean, we can't expect them to just, hit us with a whole bunch of stuff. I look at this roadmap more as let's get the rest of this stuff out of the way that we talked about a year ago, so we can start fresh next year. That's what I look at this roadmap as. I'm not mad at the roadmap, but it's not wowing me. The biggest thing on here is Spider-Man. But it's not a big thing for everybody. It's a big thing for PlayStation players. And then I'm interested in seeing what the raid's gonna be like. But other than that, that's pretty much it on this. That's all I'm gonna say about this. And on that note, keep it cool. I'm out.